work. I feel like that's most podcasts in the strength and conditioning world anyway. It's just people fucking nonstop talking. I'm like, all right, get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
What I mean, that's how many times can you just go on a podcast and rehash the exact same information over and over and over and over again before you just get sick of it and tell the 20,000th podcast host that you've been on just to stop asking you the same shit and fuck off?
Yeah. Well, I guess in an interview style one, but even like topic discussion ones, it's just, we get it. Next topic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's why we like to keep our podcast fast and loose, and we don't actually talk about anything. I don't know if you noticed this, but Kyle actually hit record while you were talking some shit. So it's been recording now.
Was I talking shit? I feel like I haven't talked shit yet.
No, it was Matt. It was really Matt talking shit, which people are very used to at this point.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
I'm totally okay talking shit. But does this podcast just pick up in the middle of a sentence? Like,
usually, yeah.
They're just gonna turn it on and be like, they're like, context please, and you're like, no, to the next thing.
We also don't edit it at all, so it's going to be exactly like you said, where people just pick up in the middle and they're like, what were they talking about off camera? I guess we'll never know.
We'll never
actually
know.
To what we were talking about before, I think that is a great idea, and you guys should be going forward with it.
Oh, good, thank you. I think it's going to be something that produces a lot of revenue in Q4.
Yeah,
it's
going to be
huge.
It's going to be wild.
It's
going to disrupt the entire fitness market.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So everybody, thank you for joining us today. With us, we have the original, the Stoked Brogy. I don't think he actually has a name other than Stoked Brogy, and sporting probably the industry's greatest mustache. So if you'd like to take a moment to introduce yourself for the people who don't know who you are, start with a name, because I don't think many people know what it is. I think that would be awesome.
The Stoked Brogy is my name.
Okay.
Yeah, birth certificate, everything. Some people do choose to call me Mike Bouranis for whatever reason. It's just like a weird nickname I picked up in elementary school. But it stuck, so we're using that one as well. So my name is Mike. I own Stoked Athletics, now co-own. I have co-owner now. And that's a small group personal training gym on Long Island. And I also make the Some Days Off shirt that you've probably seen on Instagram. Those are the two things.
On us.
Say again? On you guys, yeah.
I've seen them on us.
Yes, it's the best shirt.
Which we're restocking. When does this one come out? When does this episode come out?
It'll be like
not next week, but the week after.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah. All right, maybe by the time it comes out, it's restocked. StokedAthletics.com. Thanks.
Okay, so we'll
shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug for
right off the bat. And I have to say, I do have a plug I plug at the end of every podcast that I have to plug at the end of this one too.
Oh, you'll get the opportunity.
Awesome. Thank you.
We allow for all plugs possible. If our general thought process is if we didn't want you to plug your own stuff, we probably wouldn't have liked you enough to ask you on the podcast at all anyway.
That's fair.
Or we would send you a script of what to talk about beforehand. And it'd be like, all you're going to do is you're going to plug the group mentorship, Operation Beef Castle, Operation Meat Rocket, and that's it. You're going to talk about how awesome we are.
You're going to talk about us.
So it's okay to not agree with that stuff, right? Because I think the program I've been on lately. No,
it is totally actually not okay to disagree with it. And if you disagree, you are fake news, and we will have to get your Instagram shut down and deleted.
Cancel me.
Yes, you'll be over. Right. It's over. So that's just a fair warning. Anybody else who's going to be a guest on this podcast or who has desires to be a guest on this podcast, just beware. We will send you a script beforehand, and if you don't comply 100%, it's game over for you.
Got a text from Matt. Hold on.
It's like
tell Kyle Oh, I wasn't supposed to read that out loud. Sorry.
I wondered what he was doing over there. Yeah, that's okay. He's not brave enough to tell me himself because he knows I'm.
He's feeding me what to say on the podcast. It's fine.
Yeah,
Kyle's also just way meaner than people realize. So I'm actually quite scared of saying anything to him in person.
I am. I have a nice Instagram persona, but a really mean in-person persona. And
I will say when we first started getting to know each other on Instagram, I remember we were DMing and I'm like, oh dude, this guy's a dick. Fuck yeah. I remember you were saying some shit and I'm like, fuck yeah. All right. That's why we're vibing. Yeah. Cause you were so nice on you're so wholesome on your page. It's like dad. And then all of a sudden you're in the DMs and I'm just like, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah. I can't put it out there because then nobody would like me.
Yeah.
I remember earlier this year, you were watching the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were getting like wrecked. And I just got a text from Kyle that was just like, "Hey, you fat piece of shit." And I was like, "What did I do?" And he's like, "I'm in a bad mood because the Chiefs are losing. I'm going to take it out on you." I was like, "All right, cool. Guess this is what we're doing now."
It was a Super Bowl. It was fine.
Yeah, it's not just some game, Matt.
I don't
Bowl.
watch football. I don't watch like.
Matt doesn't do sports.
I don't do sports. It's like I'm a large man who, like, if everybody looks at me like, "Why the hell didn't you play sports?" I'm like, I don't know. I was doing things. I was working. Like, I didn't have the opportunity.
What were you doing, like, growing up?
I worked at my parents owned a martial arts school, and I worked there from the time I was 10 under the table until the time I was 24.
That's sick.
And that was we would work from 3 to 10 p.m. So I literally just had no opportunity to do sports or like anything, because they opened it when I was 6. So like from this time I was 6 years old on, I was there all day.
Is it still around?
They sold it and moved. They sold it and retired and moved to Tennessee in 2017, and just kind of got out of the East Coast because their property taxes went from like $2,000 a year to $30,000 a year in 1 year, which was awesome. They were.
So I did want to ask you guys. You're in Jersey.
I'm in Texas.
Texas. Okay, you were from Jersey.
I'm from New Jersey. Yes.
Okay, and then Kyle, you're also in Texas.
No, I'm in St. Louis, but I was in New York for 30
I've like
years.
mailed you shit before. I should know that.
You have mailed both of us things before.
But you've also, the Some Days Off shirts are so popular. I don't know how you would just keep up with our addresses.
I mean, I'll be honest. We were talking about outsourcing before. They're in a warehouse. It goes through Shopify, and then the skate shop I used to work for has a warehouse, and they just fucking package it.
See, that's what we want to do, is the Shopify just t-shirt store. That's the way to go.
We're gonna crack the whip on our intern a little bit more.
Yeah, we want to do t-shirts too, but we're not.
Is it Craig?
Is
Craig your intern?
Craig is our intern.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, Craig is our intern.
Yeah.
Craig is the intern.
Good dude. All right.
We should probably have our intern as a podcast guest at some point and just rip on him the entire time, but I don't think he's worth it yet.
He's got to work a little harder.
He's got to earn it. Yeah.
That's fair.
We don't want him to get the exposure of like all 30 people that tune into these quite yet. So he's not ready for it. His Instagram would just blow up overnight, and he wouldn't know what to do with these.
Yeah, he'd go from like 600 followers to 625 followers, and I think he'd have a heart attack. And I don't know, it'd be rough.
He'd blow it.
It'd be hard for him.
Right, he'd say something dumb on like an IG live about, "Oh, thank you to all of my fans," and then he'd make some stupid statement and it'd be over. Game over.
And then it's on you guys. So
and it's our fault.
Actually, it's a good idea that you don't have him on. Yeah.
He's a representation of us, so we have to put some constraints on his lifestyle and on the things he does sometimes. Just to make,
By the way,
how sure he doesn't embarrass us.
How bad is it that we're saying that we have to constrain Craig's lifestyle, but we say nothing about all of the shit that I talk on the internet?
Yeah, but you're successful.
I've already had to tell a lot of people that you can't constrain Matt Dottney. You just have to hope to kind of.
What do you say that's so bad?
Oh, I just say things that I just have changed my mind on topics before, and
that's what you're supposed to do.
No. How dare you say that? You are supposed to be entrenched in the same belief system from the minute you're born until the minute you die.
Dude.
If you change your mind, you are not only wrong, but you are an evil person, and you are probably a baby punter. Like, it's just rough.
Here's what I like about being on the outskirts of like this bubble that like I feel like you guys are way more in, right? Of like the strength and conditioning coaches bubble. Is that like nobody's paying attention, man? Like fucking, I'm just like flowing out here, but I feel like all eyes on you. Yeah, that sucks.
You just tweet an awesome thing, and then it gets shared by a whole bunch of people, and nobody says anything else.
Everybody just goes, nice.
Yeah, nice. And then a bunch of people follow me, and then I just shit post for like 3 weeks straight, and then everybody's like, "Dude, this guy sucks," and then unfollows, and I'm like, "All right, nice." Filtered them out.
I also think that was one of the best things you've ever done with your Instagram is whenever somebody comments anything, your response is always just nice. So it immediately eliminates all debate and conversation. And everybody's like, there's nothing I can say to this. And I like had this long thing that I was going to say about this post that he made, and all he said back was nice.
Yeah, you disagree, dude. Sick.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you fucking paying my bills? All right. Kick rocks,
That's always my favorite. Is people will write like 3-paragraph things on my post sometimes, and I'm like, one, I didn't read that, and two, maybe you should just make a post of your own.
Yeah. If you're so good, then why aren't the fucking people following you, buddy? Fuck off.
Just make a post. Peace.
Yeah. Fuck Instagram. I mean, I love Instagram. Don't get me wrong. I spend way too much time on it, but fuck Instagram.
It's still terrible.
It's terrible.
You know the market that we all should take over, and that you're recording this. This is good. You just got to chop up these videos. TikTok.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
I went on TikTok for 1 week just to see what it was, and immediately deleted my profile.
It's so good. About it. They're tracking everything we're doing. I don't care.
All of it is going directly to the Chinese government. They know everything about you.
Well, they don't. They just think I'm some stoner who's like watching fucking dance videos and like the videos I'll send Chelsea, my wife, sometimes.
Mike, is that untrue?
What?
Is that untrue?
Smoking weed? Well, no, dude. What I'm saying is they don't know I own a gym. If you looked at my TikTok, you would have no idea what I do from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m.
If you looked at anything that you did that wasn't on Instagram, you probably have no idea that you owned a gym.
Yeah. I don't even like working out, man. Like, yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
We're done. We're done here.
All right, that's a good episode. We can go off air now.
We got 10 minutes in. We can talk about the real stuff.
Nice.
So this is literally how all of our podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, we
don't have outlines. We have nothing to talk about. We just come on and hang out with our friends. Basically.
I know. I got 6 minutes into like a couple episodes, and I just had to shut it off. It was so fucking bad.
I didn't learn anything. I was not here for it.
I expected a pelvis model. God damn it! It's not even a video.
All right, to the listeners, I want you to imagine in your head a nice piece of plastic. It's white. It has 2 curves on each side. There's like a little disc in the middle. All right, help me out here. What does a pelvis fucking look like? I'm not doing too well on this one.
It looks like this. So this is what a pelvis looks like for all
right,
people watching this. This is exactly perfect. You got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect. You got it. Oh my God, how did you just do that? Is the pelvis supposed to move like that? That was incredible. You guys just missed. If you guys are not watching, you guys are missing.
So if they're not watching, on your pelvis is actually this big X in the middle, and if you press it, it lights up and turns on your Xbox.
Right? That's an Xbox controller.
No, this is a pelvis model. It's a pelvis model.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would honestly say it's more useful than a pelvis model.
It might be.
It might be more useful.
Yeah.
It probably actually mimics the range of motion of an SI joint more so than the pelvis models that we see on social media. That looks like 45 degrees of rotation on the Anonymous.
Yes, accurate.
Seems a little excessive.
If you don't have this amount of rotation.
I feel like I know what you guys are talking about. Going back to like Instagram and all, like I kind of think I know what you guys are talking about, but at the same time, like, am I allowed to ask? Or is this like you don't name the people that we're talking about?
A lot of them are our friends,
yes,
in real life, but they always give like displays with like rib cages and pelvises as examples, but it's super extreme, so people can actually see like what's happening with the Anonymous and
which can be helpful, right?
Which can be helpful.
But
But then I think that there's also a huge percentage of people that follow them that are like, oh, it moves like that. Like counter nutation of a sacrum is like a full tuck under the pelvis. And now the sacrum's actually pointing up back into the asshole, and the iliums are actually pointed straight outside.
Yeah, it opens like peeling a banana. That's what it looks like.
Every time you go to squat, it's you're opening enough to birth another human.
Yes.
I thought that's from my understanding, no?
Well,
it should be an effortless birth too. And it should just be one like sharp, like pursed lips exhale, and then boom, human right there.
Yeah. And if you can't, you just didn't do enough breathing drills.
Exactly.
Prior.
That's what it turns into. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I get what you're saying then. Yeah. People suck sometimes. That was it. All right. That's the next shirt, is that not some days off. Some days suck, but then also like a people suck. And that's it.
People suck. And then
strength coaches suck.
Strength coaches suck. It's a weird industry we're in, man. It's I'm always caught up with the level of self-importance that we give ourselves. for like an industry that shouldn't even exist, where everything's made up. Like that's kind of where I am in my life most days, where I'm like, I walk into a gym and I'm like, cool, like a barbell, that's made up. A squat rack, like that's
none
also,
of it matters.
That's also made up. Like hypertrophy, like that doesn't matter that much in 2021 outside of just like wanting to look jacked. It's like we really think the things that we do matter way more than they actually do, and the fact that we fight on the internet about it is humorous most of the time.
I think most people they like fitness. And going back to, like, I was joking, like, I don't work out. I love working out, right? I really do, like, most of the time. But I think too many people are like, fitness is their personality, and it's such a shitty thing to do, and they need to get over that hump until it's like, what's the best way to say it? It's like, okay, my goal is to help people just enjoy life more. And I know that being stronger and having more energy and ultimately strength and conditioning is a way to do that. So that's why I want to focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if that didn't help people enjoy life more, I don't know if I would be in this industry.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think I'd be here either. Like, it's one of those things. Yeah.
And then once they start arguing, like, the little nuances of it, it's like, you're not even enjoying life anymore. What the fuck? Why are we doing this then?
You're not enjoying life as much as Stoke Brogy. I can promise you that.
How high are you, and how long do you stay on TikTok are the two main metrics I look at the end of the night. And I'm like, all right, I'm pretty happy with life right now, man. You know?
So when you get that screen time reminder on Sunday, that's like, your screen time went up 38% this week, and
why would I even look at it?
12 and a half hours a day. You're like, this is awesome.
This is a great week.
This is a perfect week for me.
I PR'd my screen time.
Post that on Instagram.
That can be your next tweet, man. I want a little credit for it. That's all.
I'll do it. But so people think there's a negative connotation with screen time, but as long as you're wearing the blue light glasses, you don't even have to sleep anymore. You could live on a screen, and then you're stronger than you were when you weren't wearing blue light glasses. I think
that is a scientifically provable fact.
Yeah. Because I bought them.
If you drink a green smoothie while you're doing it, you're also tripling the effect.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
It's actually like negative screen time if you're doing all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your body is a screen at that point, dude. It's so stupid. I don't know. Do your podcast, like, we could literally just sit back and shit talk everything? There's no, like, questions.
No, there's no question. There's one question. There's one question.
What's the one question?
We haven't gotten to it yet. We get to it at the very end.
Oh, okay. So
it's going to be a surprise.
And how long?
Surprise question.
How long do these things typically last?
We've had them go from anywhere from 45 minutes to like nearly 2 hours.
I got video games to play, bro.
We know you don't have that much time.
What?
We know you don't have 2 hours.
We usually keep them about an hour.
No, dude, I've like. All right, we did schedule on a Thursday. Thursdays are my low intensity days, right? Where, like, I woke up, I went to the gym, like, to coach, and then it's like I just have a couple meetings, and, like, I'm home and I'm chilling, and that's it. So if this lasted 2 hours, we're good, man. We could shit talk. What's another thing we should shit talk? Yeah, I know you guys hate the FMS, right?
I think at this point, I don't even think we're not respected and accepted by any acronym anymore. We are just like pariahs, where everybody's like, oh, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
So, okay, concept. Are these things a bit more harmful or hurtful? Any of them? You talk PRI, you talk FMS, you talk FRC, you talk Strong First, RKC. Are they hurting the industry more or helping it more?
Sir, I don't think you're aware how a podcast works. We invite you on the podcast, and we ask you the questions.
Not on this episode.
Not vice versa.
He just completely pirated the podcast.
Yeah, I'm running the show now. Actually, can you make me host really quick?
I'll make you the host. That's fine.
Let me share my
I'm
screen.
gonna make you a co-host. I'm gonna make you the co-host so I don't feel completely emasculated on our own podcast.
His co-host is probably sitting right next to
him. Is this
how
you got a co-owner? Is you just like
did you
kind
just
of
go to a
prop them
gym
straight into it?
Yeah. Did you like go to somebody's gym and go like, well, I part own this now, and this is what we're gonna do?
Well, okay. If you put it like that in a weird way, but sort of. It's my buddy who I've known for a while, and we've lifted together, and we know we have like the same mindset and everything. And I've been mentoring him the last year in his small group personal training business. which he was running out of his like basement garage, and he was looking for a space. And then one day it was like a lot of his clients were just my boys who are also like the other half of my friend group trained with me, the other half trained with him. He was like, yeah, I'm looking for spaces. I was like, why don't you just invest that money into Stoked? And like, I'm very much, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like, the fuck is it? EOS, Gino Wickman, Traction, that book. It's like the entrepreneurial operating system.
We don't read books.
No,
Neither do I. I heard some people talk
bad
about
experiences with books.
I seen the flow chart on it once, and but basically it's like you have your visionary person who's emotional, good with culture, good with this, good with that, which totally is me, and then you have an integrator who's like good at operations and more logistical and whatever, and that's him. So I was like, I need somebody to take my dumb ideas because and my coaches will tell you it's like I have an idea, and then I just keep spewing them, and then I do like half of them, you know? So I need somebody to take all those ideas, filter them down, and then like, let's produce actually better results. So he's that person, and we were training the same demographic, and he was going to be a competitor of mine who I've been mentoring. So I was like, why don't you just buy into Stoked and then be like a part owner?
So what you're saying is you went to your friend and you basically did that Tom Hanks pirate movie, the I Am the Captain Now. And you just did that to him, and you're like,
until he wrote a check, right? There.
Right.
Yeah. Just to put it like that. I noticed I'm not co-host yet. Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I wanted you guys to see this for a second. Yeah. Now, when we talk about fitness and we talk about schools of thought, I don't know where I'm going with that.
We might have to release
This might be the only one that goes on YouTube.
This might be the only one that goes on YouTube. Also, because you adopted the Zoom background, and you're the first guest we've had that actually made a Zoom background. And
yeah.
It's only because, all right, so when Zoom was really hitting off last year, I didn't have this computer and I didn't have the bandwidth to, like, it would always come out super pixelated, but then I got a new computer. So this is the first time I'm doing it too, which I saw you guys doing it. So I was like, fuck, man, the opportunity's here. And I got to say, it looks like I'm there, right?
It looks like you're
pretty good.
Right there. Like you are there. No, but I do think if we are going to talk about anything, I would say to answer your question prior to that conversation, I would say, like conceptually over the industry. Yeah. I think the silos, the tribalism, the systems-based thinking, I think it does a lot more to differentiate coaches and divide the actual industry as a whole than it does to promote inclusion, collaboration, innovation, sharing of ideas, any of that stuff that are actually going to benefit the client base probably more so than anything else. So I would say, I would think there's definitely
more harm.
Yeah, definitely more harm from that perspective.
Yeah, I agree too. I think one of the biggest things that it does promote, and it's in addition to the tribalism of the practitioners, is in the people who are being assessed and having these systems used on them. It promotes fragility because it becomes fragility becomes a sales tool, where the way that you present all of the information to the person in front of you is that they are broken and they need fixing, as opposed to they just need to train. And anecdotally, I will say that I never got like injured from lifting weights or training until I started doing like corrective exercises and movement prep and all that sort of shit. And then every single time like I've been injured, it's when I've done any of that. And every time I've not done it and I've just ignored it and just gone and trained, everything's been fine.
I'm going to get peer review paper on that.
That's why I said anecdotally to start.
It
doesn't matter. Anecdote is not a real thing.
It is not.
Somebody's going to take a soundbite of that and they're going to edit out the word anecdotally, and then they're just going to spam that on the internet and be like, look at this piece of shit.
Nobody cares about us that much.
No.
Quit interrupting, Mike.
All news is good news, first of all. If somebody's shit talking you, dude, good. More followers, right? That's all that matters. But I was going to say that I think that another bad part about that is how many people come to one of us, right, from somebody else, and they're like, well, you're having to make them unlearn whatever fucking school of thought that other person taught them that had this like, well, my knee shouldn't go over my toes or this or that. And like my other coach told me this. And now the work is so much harder for one of us to just be like, okay, that's not technically right. And then you have to kind of teach them it. And like, do they even need to be taught this? Can't we just fucking train? Like, why do we have to do this run around 3-month intro of like, dude, you're not going to break. Let's just fucking work harder. Right.
Yeah. How do I tell you your last coach was a moron without telling you your last coach was a moron?
Because you don't want to come off as a total asshole.
Because it makes you,
right.
Yeah,
it makes you an asshole.
It makes you look bad, right? So, yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. Like we'll get, or more so probably me than Matt, but I'll get DMs and like I'll have people who are like accountants or lawyers or something not in fitness and be like, hey, I'm a right BC left AIC. And I oversupinate on my left foot, and I've got poor internal rotation on my right side, and my right shoulder kind of hurts, and I'm not able to find like a ZOA on my left side. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you? Where'd you learn that?
Why do you know any?
Why
of
do
these
you
words?
know any of those things?
I'm so happy I'm too stupid to understand any of that, so I never got into one school of thought, you know?
Yeah,
people think it's like a wise choice by me, but I'm too stupid to fucking like sit there and like, what are you talking about, dude?
Well, we all think it's a wise choice because we're all just a little bit jealous that you're still in that like meathead having fun going to the gym and getting a pump phase.
Yeah.
Me?
You seem to be doing pretty well and like enjoying yourself quite a bit. And I don't know for sure, but I haven't seen just like a whole line of like injured dead people coming out of your gym at this point. So
because I feel like I've gotten over that hump where when I was into powerlifting, that's I was beat to shit all the time, and then I was always trying all those things, like, and everywhere I worked too. Like, who worked at Equinox? Kyle, did you work at Equinox?
no, Matt,
That was me.
Matt did. Okay, yeah. Like FMS is taught there religiously, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when PRI started getting big. So now you got and fucking how many coaches started like sucking FRC's dick, right? And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, dude, like I don't know, like I'm trying these things and it's not really helping that much. And then also like, dude, like the coaches doing them, I'm like, you're not even that fucking in shape, or like, and not to say like, okay, I don't want to fucking sound like a total dick, but like
that's the elephant in the room, though.
But like
that is really,
and in shape, and this is why I think like we could get a pass on like not being total fuckheads here, is that in shape can mean many things to many people.
Yes.
Everybody can agree that you should be somewhat in shape, somewhat athletic, somewhat strong, or at least be one of those things, like way gnarly competitive level.
Yeah.
And it's like those are your giving points there, right? And I'm seeing these coaches do this shit. I'm just like, I don't understand how this is benefiting you. I don't understand how this is benefiting a client. And then I'm trying to do this shit and I'm just getting hurt. So I feel like I got through that whole fucking obstacle course of all these different things to finally come out and just be like, I don't really care about powerlifting anymore. I competed in bodybuilding. It was fun. I don't really care about it anymore. I just want to lift and party with my friends and have fun. And that's where I was. And then, you know this too, like getting married now and starting a family and all those things. It's like, does it really matter? Or like, do I just want to be jacked and skateboard on the weekends and live longer? Probably
that's like a pretty good lifestyle.
Yeah, man. It's funny. Like I had a conversation with one of our clients this morning where like there's a percentage of the industry from a strength and conditioning perspective that's now just turned into people telling other people who are in better shape than they are that they're doing everything wrong.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like, how about you like put some skin in the game and like get in the gym and actually start working out and training, and then we'll see like what works and what doesn't, right? Like,
well, because they're not strength coaches, they're human development specialists, or name something else, right? Where they skirt around it.
Great point.
Things that don't exist for 500, right? Like you make up your own acronym. It's like somebody told me they were a functional neurologist the other day. I was like, oh, cool. Like what med school did you go to? Like, huh? I was like, a neurologist goes to med school.
Well, I'm a functional neurologist at the company I started myself. Like, you give yourself a fucking title.
Oh, that's my favorite thing is like looking at the people whose Instagram bios are CEO and founder of this company. And you go to the page and it's like, who else works for this company? Oh, it's only that person.
45 followers. Sick, dude.
You are the only employee. So you better be the CEO and the janitor and the CEO. You're everything.
See, I hired Matt just so we had a janitor. Like, I'm
just
still
so Kyle could put CEO in his bio.
I'm the CEO, founder, owner, and Matt is Matt's my admin. It's great.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have a good working relationship.
Yeah, we do pretty well.
It's all right. We do okay. We do okay.
We're kind of like you and your co-owner, where it's like we've got the visionary. I feel like Matt's more of our ideas person, and then I'm the person who's like, yeah, that won't work.
Yeah, which is what I needed so bad.
This is what I need too.
And then I'm like, wait, that one might work. Let's talk more about that one.
It's a double-edged sword though, man, because I've had ideas that ended up like we threw a fucking stoked through a party. So I don't know if this is gonna make sense to you. Are you guys familiar with Bordy Barn?
I have never heard of it before.
Bordy Barn is this place out on Long Island, way out east, which is basically a bar with a big circus tent outside. And it's only open on Sundays from Memorial Day to Labor Day from 2 to 8. So very small window, and it's been around 50 years. So everybody's aunts and uncles and whoever have always partied there. And it's like a ritual that you go there when you're 21 and get shit hammered. So we threw a Bordy Barn themed party called Brogy Barn at Swell Taco, which was $75 a person, all you could eat, all you could drink. And it was like 100 people showed up, and it was the best break-even marketing I've ever done for the gym, because we ended up getting a ton of clients from it. It made its money back down the line. But like, if you just say that out loud, normally you're like, as a gym, I'm going to throw a party where we just drink as much as we can and eat as many tacos as we can, and then hire a DJ to fucking rage face. You'd be like, that's stupid and it's not going to work. But every now and then, dude, those ideas work. But most of the time you need somebody to say, no, that's fucking stupid.
See, I call this like novice golfer syndrome, right? Where I'm terrible at golf, but every time I go out there, I hit one shot that gives me hope and convinces me to go back again at some point in the future. And I'll have like 16 holes where I'm miserable. Like, I'm hot, I'm sick of walking, I'm like 15 over for the day. I might have thrown a club, who knows? Depends on how mad I got. I'm probably a little drunk. But then I hit that one magical shot, and I'm like, this fucking rocks.
It's all worth it.
I'm coming back.
I'm so good.
I'm so good at this.
Yeah. And it's what's that fucking term that people like to use? Confirmation bias.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that one is just like, yeah, dude, this is who I am.
Yeah. So you're going to be riding your party for like decades.
Oh, you'll be riding the high off of that for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I still just like stay up at night and look at the pictures from it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And just cry and like one finger dragging on my phone.
Was that back in like 2011 or 2012? Like, how long ago was it?
Is this a throwback?
The last summer we were able to do it. It was 2019.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you can.
It sounds like a 2.0 is coming soon.
So it was supposed to. Oh my god! And then I'm just gonna spill out all the ideas now. The 0.5K fun run for fitness is a thing that we had. We had it all planned. I hired a fucking planning company, an event company for 2020, and then it was in May, so it ended up having to cancel. But so we've been talking. We're like, it's best to do 2022 because 2021 people are still iffy about it. But there's a brewery that we had it set at where we were just going to like get it legit. Like, you're getting the fucking stupid letters and the fucking aluminum jacket or blanket. And then we're just going to jog around the brewery and then drink for 4 hours. But we're going to raise money.
So that makes it okay. That is an
I mean, like,
idea.
that's a great idea, especially with what Long Island is going to be coming out of by 2022. Like, people are going to be craving stuff like that. Dude,
even this summer, we're ready to have so many events planned that like not for Stoked, like that we're going to. And I'm like, I'm going to be so drunk the entire summer. It's going to be so bad.
That is a square block fun run.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is.
Yeah. I would actually sign up for that.
Oh yeah, I'd come in like full gear, like
dude,
and the tank top. I'd get my paper number and I'd be rocking.
I plan on like as people are signing up, like the weeks leading to it, sending out like programs of how to train for it, and it's just gonna be like obviously like all satire, but to at least get them like seeing my name in their email box and all those good marketing things, right?
Well, and you can, I mean, a lot of them might need like a drinking strategy if it's 4 hours. Like, you might actually have to have some graded exposure to work them up into a level of alcohol.
I never want to think of graded exposure while I'm drinking ever.
Yeah, man. You add a beer like every third Tuesday or something, and you're ready to go. You just
This
you
is
just
how much
fucking-
of a nerd Kyle is, by the way. He's strategizing how to drink more over a 4-hour period of time. He's like, well, maybe if I were to periodize a program and I were to start at 60% of my max for some sets of 10 back 12 weeks out, I think by that point I can hit a new PR in my maximum drinkability.
But I would go with cluster sets though, right? Because if my max is gonna be like, if hear me out though. Hear me out.
Keep going.
If my max is like a pitcher over the course of an hour, right?
Okay. Respectable.
We can it's a nice round number. Okay. We can probably look at 3 cans at a time and more of a cluster set, but spread out over the course, like with a break in between, and elongate that drinking window like 3 hours.
I think as a weekend warrior, that's fine. But as a competitive drinker, you have to just approach it as I'm going to drink as much as I can. And when I can, I will boot and rally. And then I'll drink as much as I can. And you just keep going back to the bathroom and making yourself throw up. And then
that's progressive overload at its finest.
Yeah.
That is progressive.
You are doing
that's
the
the
equivalent
CrossFit.
of being an FMS guy right now.
No,
I'm
no.
I'm the just train harder, bro.
You just did the CrossFit of drinking is what you just did. You tried to max out everything and then like hit the assault bike in a 45-minute window.
Yeah. CrossFit works, doesn't it? I'm joking. Please don't think. No, please. No.
Kyle sit here trying to apply some Verkhoshansky stuff to like alcoholism.
Yeah.
Dude, you can go a high-low model.
Yeah.
We've talked about this with other things. You could definitely do like a Charlie Francis high-low model.
Oh yeah, you could get like blackout on Monday and then have a little bit light, easy recovery day on Tuesday. Have like 3 or 4, and then Wednesday have a moderate day where
like
you're
a glass of wine or something.
Wine,
like, you know, dinner.
Yeah, easy.
You cycle it through your microcycle. It's good.
I was gonna say, even from like a long-term year point of view, it almost seems like it works out that way, where it's like summer hits and it's like that's your high.
Yeah,
and then you kind of dull down
in
September,
season.
October, but then holidays come up, you kick back on.
I mean,
and then
when the holidays
January.
come back up, we got to start going into like some DUP style training to get you really into there. So I think having some kind of like programming frequency with your alcohol would be a very, very useful thing.
How much do you guys charge for these drinking programs so that I can just kind of like outsource that work and then I'll be sending that out for the 0.5K?
Do you want it for like the mesocycle?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That's going to be like 20 grand.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. We got that in the bank. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We only take payment in chain link.
I'm happy we circled back around that. I feel like that went. You did say that went unnoticed the first time.
So far over my head, I had no idea what you were saying. I was like, I don't know what that means at all, so I'm just going to ignore it.
I just hearted it, but didn't know what it meant, but wanted to look cool.
For context, this was back in when?
This was like August.
Yeah.
This is like August or September.
Which you guys, I actually realized I was asking you to pay me for a program that could be applied to your internship, but you guys haven't asked me for it yet. I don't know, like, did the idea get lost? I don't know what happened.
I think the idea is just not ready for market yet. I think that's the biggest thing.
Oh,
that's
like, true. That's true.
So we can actually use this as a time to take a poll, and like, if you guys like this idea, please drop it in the comments of the podcast. But Mike's idea was to put out a program that he can guarantee with 100% efficacy that the results will be in, and that it's going to be about how he can make you just statistically and like measurably worse over a period of time. You'll get smaller, you'll get fatter, you'll get weaker, and you'll also get slower. Results are guaranteed.
It's the only thing really anybody can promise.
Mm-hmm. You're the only like truther in the strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Industry.
Anybody that's promising that you could get bigger, stronger, faster is lying to you.
They are lying to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you guys like that idea, please drop it in the comments. And when you rate this podcast,
you're going to be so mad when they actually wanted to.
Just write nice on the Instagram post in the thread, please.
Yes.
Right now, pause it and do it. You're listening. This is live.
It's on Instagram right now. We dropped it. Right, nice.
How mad will you be if enough people actually are like, I would want to see what that is, and then you have to pay me in Chainlink to write a program?
Well, right now, Chainlink wouldn't be a bad one to get you because we'd have to buy like 1 or 2 a time.
Yeah, that's true.
It would have been a much better deal for you.
Oh, we launched that back in August when Chainlink was trading at like, what was it, like 2 cents or something like that? Or
no, it was like $10 or something.
It was like $10.
That.
Okay,
yeah.
I thought back then it was like under $1 still. I was gonna say if that was under $1, then you'd be you'd have been making bank.
You might have sold Stoked all the way through, and
The second I can, I plan on doing it.
Yeah,
So.
Nobody would have known who the Stoked Brogie is anymore.
No.
just would have been
No.
the Brogie.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just the Brogie.
Nice.
I someday I look forward to the day when you just become the Brogie, because then I know that everything worked out.
Yes. Or just Stoked. Just changes everything.
Or maybe,
just to Stoked.
maybe
Yeah.
you're just stoked. I don't know.
Yeah.
That
I was
might
gonna
not
say,
be
like,
as
is that
intellectual
reaching
property
Nirvana?
anymore, though.
Is that reaching Nirvana for me?
It might be. It might
That would be your version of it. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Have to do a lot of mushrooms, probably.
Yeah, it's a lot of video games. Like, there's a lot of time to do activities
Yeah.
in Nirvana.
Yeah.
Or to not do anything. One of the
I mean,
two.
at that point, when you've reached Nirvana, you wouldn't care about anything at all. So
You're
you
doing
just-
everything and nothing at once.
at the same time, simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
Which also describes corrective exercise if we want to take it all the way back.
We've gone full circle, everyone.
Yeah. People were waiting for something to happen there, and there it is. Oh, that's good, man.
I could have passed that opportunity. Yeah, that couldn't have been set up better. That was
Perfect.
That was great.
Now I feel like this is the end of the podcast. How long has this thing been on?
We actually do have our one question for you, though.
Oh, I was joking. I want to keep talking to you guys, but yeah, I'm curious what this one question is. Is
I
this
mean,
the thing that you do every time?
Well, we always
Yeah.
ask this question about like halfway through because it's very loaded and it usually gets a large response out of the person who we're
nice.
asking.
Let's do it.
So if we were to ask you, so if like looking at training, fitness, Instagram, all of this stuff as a whole, what is the thing that you see on Instagram or in fitness that you just hate the most, more than like anything else, that pisses you off every single time you see something about it? You're like, oh, fuck this thing and fuck this person in particular. If you'd like to name names, please feel free. We'll just have them on and we'll link them in the podcast for the next time so we can have a little structured debate on it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a structured debate. But what is it? What's the one thing that gets you mad?
That gets me mad. Fuck. I don't know if it's mad or just like it's hard to. I don't really. All right. I get
Don't
mad
cop
sometimes.
out. Don't cop
Don't
out.
cop
on us.
out, bro.
No, I have it. I'm just trying to think of a way to word it. It used to be, and kind of still is, people who don't train people in person with strong opinions.
Yeah.
Because so many people talk about the research and this and that, and then if you're not even training people in person, like it's one thing to say like I have 50 online clients, but if you don't have that background experience of training people in person, you don't know how it's actually playing out on the other end of that phone. And I think it's such like and is it to say everybody should have to train people in person before they're an online coach? I don't know. There's no should. Life is life, and people do whatever the fuck. Nobody's gonna. That's not gonna stop anybody from not doing it. So what the fuck does it matter? But I think when people have such strong opinions about stuff, and it's like you've never even trained a person. In my opinion, you've never fully coached a person. You have written a program. They've sent you video, and then you made something on some two-dimensional. You're not there to move around and see and change and feel and get the full experience. And to me, it's like, shut the fuck up then, dude.
Yeah. That's what we call the theorists. Because because they don't actually do it, right? And that's actually something like we've talked about several times because that's on Matt and I. It's like
that's like our number one shit list.
That is like
right. Okay,
list,
I'm glad I'm not fucking crazy.
Yeah,
no, you are not at all because like that's one of the biggest things that we have in the industry now is a bunch of kids. It's like you've never done anything before, and you're telling us everybody that things that they've been doing are wrong. Like, who the fuck are you?
Well, there's somebody who got a program from Noriega one time. Sean wrote them up the program. And
you can say that because you're his friend, so that's okay.
And he got them strong, and he implemented some PRI stuff, and now they have their very strong opinions, and that's that.
Yeah, it's I literally this week had like my entire application process called into question by a kid who graduated on Monday.
High school or college?
College.
Yeah.
It's like,
do you guys have backgrounds from college in this stuff or not?
I do not. Actually.
I was a pre-med.
I was not. I was a martial arts major when I was in college. It does sound like it's fake and made up, but I actually have my diploma downstairs and I can show it if everybody wants it. But we were promised like anatomy and physiology and kinesiology classes and like biology and all that kind of stuff. And when it came time for us to like register for the classes, the dean went, "Oh no, you guys aren't allowed to take any of these fun classes that would really benefit you. So have fun going over there and taking like philosophy."
In my head, this is like Pokemon school.
It kind
That
of
sounds
was.
yeah. You have to go to the different dojos and fight everybody.
It kind of was. It kind of was. I mean, it was awesome. We had like bare knuckle sparring classes, which was dope. Like that was super fun.
What's even better is that he said that to you. Then you're like, all right, I guess I'll just take philosophy.
Yeah. Well, it was
Like, you could just change your major.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was like 3 years in, and none of my credits would have transferred.
Oh, okay, it was like that. Yeah,
I think Matt was also very into like bare knuckle sparring classes.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Imagine taking that at, like being a regular student and taking that as an elective, just walking in and being like, "Oh, I thought this was like a we're fighting.
I have to fight that kid."
I thought we were talking about like the history of fight sports. We're actually doing it. Oh God.
That's not what I wanted. I need to talk to my advisor, sir. Yeah. This is not what I signed up for.
That was actually one of the craziest things that happened in there is we had obviously the class was very small, and when we were training, one of my friends broke another kid's nose in the middle of the class, and like it was just pouring blood everywhere, and we were in the rec center because that's where the class was taking place, and we went out, and this kid's just pouring blood out of his nose, and everybody in the area in the rec center is just like pressing themselves against the wall. They're like, what the fuck are these guys doing in there? Like, wow, it's bare knuckle sparring class.
Was the kid cool about it? That got hit?
Oh, he was super cool about it. Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, he was super cool. He was another martial arts major who
it was his major, not his minor.
Right, so he was ready to go.
He was serious.
Like when we reset his nose, he was like, "That was a great shot, guys." Crack.
Oh, that's so sick, dude.
It was awesome.
Dude, I don't know. Yeah, go back to the kids graduating college. I like to say too, like a lot of them would be better off just fucking getting a job as a bartender than getting another fucking cert half the time.
Oh yeah,
they're so fucking.
When I was in New York, I used when I had somebody apply who was a bartender or like a barista or a hostess or a waiter or waitress at a restaurant. I was like, okay, I can tell you enough about training, but I know at least like you can talk to normal fucking people.
Yeah. You could break it down to somebody.
Like you can actually have or you can talk about things that aren't training related because most of our clients don't actually care.
They don't care.
They don't give a fuck
about the femur action on a squat.
Yeah.
But can you actually talk to them about like social events or things with their family or like things that happen outside of this gym?
When they come bummed, can you cheer them up?
Yeah, can you make them feel good about
so
something?
Simple.
Yeah. It's like, but that was something I looked for on the resume. I was like, oh, you've been a bartender in New York for 3 years? Like, one,
why'd you stop?
Yeah, because I know you're making pretty good money probably.
Yeah.
And two, like, oh, you just like to work out and you want to do some fitness? Like, cool. Like, when can you start? Like, you're certified? Awesome. You check the boxes. But that was a huge thing. Like, they always did better than the people I'd get right out of college with like their exercise science undergrad or something. Like I'd have people that came in with like their masters in exercise science that washed out of our gym in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they couldn't coach a deadlift for shit, I'm sure.
They couldn't talk to people. They couldn't coach. They could tell you every muscle in the body and its function. They could not talk to a normal human being.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, like you're in for a rough haul. Like it's unless you decide to be like a GA at like some D2 university somewhere, like you're fucked. So have fun with that because that's.
Do you guys get a lot of those kind of kids into your program, and then how do you kind of have that conversation with them?
Well, they're all going to be D1 coaches, so.
Well, they're all going to be Bama's next strength and conditioning.
Exactly.
It's weird that they're not already, and they're taking.
I know it's
No, we get a lot of like we actually get a mixed bag because we'll have in the same groups anything from like business owners to like your tier 2 Equinox trainer who's like a year in and wants to get better. You know what I always tell people is like, because people ask me like, hey, like, is this appropriate for me? And my biggest thing is always it's appropriate for anybody who's in a transitive phase, because that's kind of what we deal with is people who are looking to move out of what they're in and into something else, whether that's move up a ladder internally within a company or go from being, you know, a corporate trainer to a private trainer or looking to open a business.
We've even had some career changers who've gone from doing nothing in fitness to just liking to train and working out to becoming online coaches.
Yeah.
How'd they find you guys?
Friends, referrals.
Referrals,
Yeah.
The general internet. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely, it's always a mixed bag, which makes it cool because on the Slack channels and the calls, like people can, pick each other's brains. It's not just us. So people will get like feedback from a lot of different, directions, and be able to kind of make better informed decisions based off that. But the majority of our materials are also very conceptual models where they fill in the context and then we kind of help them along the way. So we've purposely done that so that we don't niche ourselves into just one demographic from a business perspective.
When's the next time you guys are opening up spots for your
it'll be
thing?
July. Yeah. Q3 will be July.
Write that down, listeners.
Write that down.
Again, he's turning our podcast into just plugging our stuff. I don't know how he's stolen this podcast.
I'm just gonna roll with it though. I already made him the co-host. He shared his screen.
You should just give him the regular hosting privileges at this point.
Well, I can't go that far. Maybe on the part due, we can work with it.
If he invites us back to our podcast.
He invites us back to our own podcast.
I'll see if I can make time.
Yeah.
We just got to make sure we hit you up on a Thursday, and we're gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
Which was
by that time, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna be way more successful than not too. So it's like I probably want to be coaching at that point. I'll just be like hanging out.
Yeah. So
business is running itself,
Especially if your chain link goes the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah. When you're just the brogy.
When I've just got that nirvana, bro.
Yeah.
When 10,000 people show up to the fun run.
So you'll just know when it's time to reach back out to me about this because I would have, gotten it to your aura.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, because you'll be omnipresent at that point. So everybody will know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll feel your presence. Yeah. Even though we're, not in Jersey.
I hope
you're both in Texas and St. Louis too.
Yes.
Yeah, you're both.
Yeah, we're both in both Texas and St. Louis simultaneously. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Are you guys coming to New York anytime soon?
I think about it all the time, and then I'm like, man, there's so many other places I'd like to go that it's hard for me to go back to somewhere I lived for so long.
I have one friend in New Jersey who owns a gym in Wyckoff that I'm trying as hard as I possibly can to avoid and never go back to see. So
he'll actually listen to this. That's not nice.
That's why I'm saying it.
Oh.
Who is it?
Pasquale Amato. He owns
I talked to him.
Yeah, he owns Pursuit Performance in Wyckoff, New Jersey, which is a great gym, but he's a piece of shit, so I don't want to ever go back.
One of you guys linked us up because he had questions about running a gym.
I might have.
It was probably one. Yeah.
Because I work with him on the mentorship side too. So,
well, hey, if you guys ever want to do a fucking in-person thing, dude, Stoked is open for it, man. If you ever, I don't know if you guys got a world tour going on, but that'd be pretty fun to go drink.
I'm dead. I was like, what were those dates? The window that you said for the bar thing? Like that's.
Because I'm down for that half 0.5K.
0.5K, bro.
Yeah, I'm down for that 0.5K.
We definitely want to hit somewhere in that window. Yeah. And we'll do like a 2-hour morning seminar.
And then just fucking But then also have it so it will be in the morning, then the event will be midday, and then the second half of the seminar is at like 9 p.m. at night back at the gym.
Perfect.
All cranked up.
The second half of the seminar is also training related, so that would be even better.
I'm gonna actually have to I will have to strategize my drinking with that. You guys are making this. You're making me overthink it.
This is going to be the next train along that we launch. Is just going to be the compound performance drinking regimen.
No, dude, all you got to do is get the crowd drunker than you. That's all that matters.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe you missed your calling.
I think you did.
As what?
Like gyms are cool, but I don't know. There's got to be some. I mean,
what, like a party promoter?
I was gonna say you could be a great party promoter.
Maybe that's what it is. Is that what it is?
I mean, that's dude. In high school, like I was the one. Like we had a pretty good party scene in high school where my one friend's house was the house that we could party at because his parents didn't care, and then it was my job to just like get people to the parties. And then when I was in college, I was in a fraternity, and my job was social, so it was just setting up the parties and getting everything going with it. So I've lived that life. I'm an adult now, sort of. And then I'd like to own a bar one day. Probably that'd be cool. Like a little super divey, not trying to make it big, but have live music. That's
my neighbor owns the diviest of dive bars, and
so
it is
sick.
the best place to go.
Dude, it's probably it's
So
like the
much
crowd
fun.
is always so good. Like nobody's ever starting shit, and like you just get your boys to play music. And
Honestly, his
cheap.
bar is super unique too, because all he has in his bar is a bunch of Super Nintendos, Nintendo 64s, PS1s, and
in
just
Jersey?
video games. No, it's in Houston. And it's he literally just has a bunch of just like classic video game systems and old TVs, and people just come in and they play board games and classic video games. It's awesome. It's super chill. Everybody's a great time.
There are prices like dive prices.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah,
That's
sick,
awesome.
Dude. Yo, fucking, I know we're probably talking about serious stuff or we're going to end this shit soon, but I want to tell a story real quick of once COVID started dying down this summer last year, we went out to the bar for the first time, right? And we went to an outdoor wine bar, and it was kind of fucked up because Chelsea told me we were going on a double date with our friends, but then that girl was really just asking Chelsea to go drink and not me. So then I showed up too, you know? So then I'm drinking there, and then so I got my buddy to sub in as her fiance. So it was kind of like a double date. But so I kept asking for gin martinis, and they kept giving me vodka ones. So then I was drinking vodka, gin, and wine. So then my old boss rolls in, right? And he is this dude, Glenn Chapman. He's the fucking mayor of Babylon. He got into a bad diving accident when he was a kid, so he's in a wheelchair. And we're like, he's just known around town, right? So we start debating what's the best dive bar in town. Comes down to two of them, and we decide on one. So then as a party, we all go there. This is a Friday night, and I had a coach at 8 a.m. the next morning. I ended up getting shit hammered, completely shit hammered, passed out in a lawn chair outside the bar. We went back to my friend's house. I'm like half asleep, calling an Uber, falling asleep, missing it. Chelsea's trying to wake me up. I'm like, all right, I just got to go get ready. I go to the bathroom. I'm in there for like 30 minutes, and Chelsea's like, what the fuck is wrong with him? So she walks in, and I'm just rubbing toothpaste on my face, telling her that I'm like washing my face, getting ready for bed. They get it off me, go to bed, whatever. I wake up the next morning, drunk as shit still, get to the gym, try to coach. I threw up every single session, and I'm so happy. The gods were helping me out that day because it was like the lightest day of – it was like only a few people scheduled that Saturday because I think everybody ended up drinking that Friday. And I just ended up having to buy everybody who came in that day a gift card to like the place that I went and drank because they all know I was shit hammered, thrown up during the whole session, not helping them at all. And thankfully, that's the demographic we get at the gym, which was just like, all right, it was kind of funny, rather than like getting mad at me, you know?
That's the culture you set, man. It's a stoked place.
You got to create the place that you would train at, and then all the degenerates just fucking come and hang out.
They just come in.
It attracts it. It attracts it. It's amazing.
It works somehow, man.
It's amazing. No, we definitely the world tour. We thought of. I don't know. We're still considering it.
You should do it, dude. It would be sick.
Yeah, I still feel like COVID is still lingering enough that
holding
people
us down right now.
People aren't going to stuff.
Yeah,
like that's the problematic part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's why we're not doing the fucking 0.5 this year. But I don't know. I feel like if it's like, how many people do you need at what price to make it worth it?
Yeah, we've ran the numbers. It's substantial enough that it would be a hard pull if there's any kind of limitations.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, whenever you guys are ready, Stoked is open to be your Long Island
conduit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be our home away from home.
Yeah, we can party.
There we go. I think we're both excited about that. That's a good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think that's as good a place as any to ask you to just pitch your stuff, because you said you got to plug some things.
Oh yeah, every podcast I go on, I plug this.
Plug them.
All right. It's just the one. I don't care if you ever follow me or don't. I don't give a fuck about that. What I do care about is that if you want a consultation, a 10-minute phone call, it could be about anything, and it's $10,000. And you just have to PayPal me $10,000. Mike at stokedathletics.com is my PayPal, or Venmo me at johnstamos92. If you PayPal me or Venmo me $10,000, I will do a 10-minute phone consultation with you on anything you want, and I can't promise results. That's my plug.
We actually have one of those that we do. People who DM us who are like just continuously asking questions, and they, when we ask them if they're going to like sign up for a consultation, they say no. Then eventually, if they continue to keep asking us questions, we have a 10-minute, $10,000 paywall link that we just send them. We're like, let's just get on a call and talk about it.
It's a Calendly link, and we send it to them.
You're gonna have to link me. I just figure one day, if I'm on enough podcasts, one person is gonna think it's funny enough where they'll do it.
Fair.
Right? And then you put it all on fucking chain link and you
just
let it
roll
ride.
with it.
Yeah.
Let it ride. You let it ride.
At that point.
Could you for the listeners, could you just repeat that PayPal and Venmo address in case one of our 4 people wants to do it?
Yeah. Mike at
Not you, Mom. Not you, Mom. Sorry. I just had to throw that in real quick, just so if she's listening.
Specifically to Kyle's mom. Mike at stokedathletics.com or John Stamos 92 is my Venmo.
And that's $10,000, right?
Yeah, not a cent less.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. John
Stamos 92 and the origin story might have to be the second podcast.
I think so.
That's fair. Okay.
I need to know where that email came from, probably at that point.
The fact that you just called a Venmo address an email just really shows how old you are.
I've never used Venmo.
Really?
No.
Oh.
My 70-year-old dad uses Venmo.
We use what's the
Zelle?
No, what's the Square one?
Square had one.
Cash App?
Cash App?
Yeah.
I got scammed on Cash App once, so I don't want to talk about it though. It's for shoes.
Nah,
but Venmo, dude, it's so fun. You fucking every Monday you just scroll through and you try to guess who bought drugs on the weekend and what they hit it as. It'll be like baseball or something. You're like, you were playing baseball, you know?
Wait,
you weren't.
You had to pay for it? No, you didn't.
There's like a thread.
It's a social one, so it's like you could comment on it. I'll just comment on random people's stuff. Like nice,
just
you know?
Drugs.
You've actually done that to me before. I think I bought something from a friend down in Texas, and you just commented nice on it. It was after I bought the Stoked shirt, the Some Days Off shirt. I think like 2 weeks later, I like Venmoed somebody for something, and you just commented nice. I was like,
when I'm out drinking, I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll go on Venmo and I'll just like troll it. LinkedIn, I put I'm the fucking quarterback of the Jets.
Trolling LinkedIn is actually one of the better ideas.
Are you guys on there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I never check it. I don't even have it on my phone.
Yeah, gotta start. It's a fucking shit show.
Oh man, what were you gonna say, Kyle?
Oh, no, nothing of importance.
Well, I'll say something important. All your friends on LinkedIn are bullshitting, and they're all bullshitters, and you probably did some crazy shit with them, and now they're trying to act professional. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
You gotta go in there and out them.
And everybody who messages you is just literally trying to sell you like copy skills or something of that. It's like, hey, have you ever needed a website developer? Or hey, you need somebody to write your copy for?
I noticed you're in the fitness industry. Yeah, I don't know if you could read that. Oh fuck.
This is where the background.
That's where the background messes with you.
There it is. Quarterback of the New York Jets. It's my baby face with a mustache. I'm gonna add you guys.
It's amazing.
Well, yeah. Mike, thank you very much for coming on today. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for people to listen to. The last question that we actually have, we do have 2. Sorry for lying to you originally.
Oh, no.
But if you would like to be found, where can people find you other than Venmo to send you $10,000? LinkedIn. Okay, cool.
Instagram at the Stoked Brogy. Twitter, I think, is at the Stoked Brogy, or you could search Yeetus Lapidus. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. And then the gym is at Stoked Athletics on Instagram.
Buy a t-shirt.
TikTok too.
It's worth it. The t-shirt is worth it. It's very soft.
Buy my stuff.
Buy his stuff.
Buy his stuff. Please.
We're trying to send him to Nirvana. Buy his stuff.
And I can get there. I just need $20 more.
Thank you, Stoke, for being on.
Right now, you just sound like that guy that knocks on everybody's door. He's like, "Hi, my name is Michael. I am from a bad neighborhood. I am overcoming a crack addiction. And I'm trying to sell T-shirts for $20. Please help me."